Hello, this is my Journal 6, and it's about lesson planning. So, in my lesson plans, I have chosen the skills of text type and purpose, the writing standards. Students will be able to write an opinion piece in which they introduce the topic and name the book they are writing about, state an opinion, and supply a reason for the opinion and provide some sense of closure. Also, for the ELD standard, for the speaking and listening, students will be able to continue a conversation through multiple exchanges. Students will speak audibly and express thoughts, feelings, and ideas clearly. So the questions that I'm reflecting on is, I chose a couple of them. The first one is, what are the learning targets for the lesson, and what should students be able to do at the end of the lesson? So I am a teacher of kindergarten and first grade students, and in my lesson and with the ELD framework, first grade students' learning targets are students learn to state an opinion and provide a reason with a sense of closure that supports their reason. Also, reflect on the effectiveness of their own writing as they share their work, their written work. And students are to use academic language in their writing correctly. So they need to be able to understand the academic language and use it appropriately in the writing. More questions are, what background knowledge, skills, and experiences do my students have related to this lesson? So as a special ed teacher, I ask my students questions that are relatable and where the students will be able to understand the questions. So the questions that I had to think about and to help them understand is, what have they done in cold weather? Because in my lesson plan, I have them writing an opinion piece about a topic, which is, do they like cold weather? And I inform students of what I've done. So I told them I like to go home and drink hot cocoa. And I will demonstrate this by speaking it and also writing a complete sentence in front of them. And students are read aloud stories like The Mitten and other stories that display representation of the students so they can understand the point of view and relate to the characters in the story. So I would pick stories that represents has the representation of the story, and also to be able to understand the story with the topics that I'm reading about. So which will be cold weather, what have they done during Christmas time, and more. More questions are, what are the English language proficiency levels of my students? Currently, this lesson plan is based on my TK kinder and first grade special education classroom. And all students are at the beginning or developing in the English language. But the special circumstances are is that all my students have IEP. So they either have autism or an intellectual disability as their primary disability. But every single student has a speech and language impairment as their secondary disability. This disability does impact their students' speech and learning process, so I am making all accommodations needed for students who may need extra support, including the my English language learner students, who currently I have two of them right now in my classroom. What language is new and may present a challenge? So the challenging language is there's two reasons why the language may be difficult. One is the weather. So in Southern California, cold is not the same as other places like it's cold. So the languages like snowball, snow, mittens, and even a fireplace may not be understandable for 5 and 6-year-olds when it really doesn't snow here. And even in the cold weather, I've really never seen students wear mittens. And because I do service a Title I school, I'm not sure if a lot of students have fireplaces, so they might not even not know what it is. So I'm going to have to show them pictures and teach about it, and my students, including myself, may not have even seen snow. So when a lot of these stories, when it's cold weather, it's automatically snowing, or it's winter time and it takes place in the Antarctic, and these students may not relate to that. So I'm going to have to describe that. Um, and students don't have access to fireplace or have seen one working. So I show them pictures, I show them the words that go with it and how normally there is. People do use mittens and fireplaces in a lot of places. Um, Going along, so my lesson plans using the specially designed academic instruction in English. As a teacher, I need to access students' prior knowledge. I need to modify the text to help students understand the lesson and create a positive lesson that's low anxiety and is fun for them to they want to do the writing. Also giving students access to graphic organizers and materials to help them express their knowledge. So in my special ed classroom, it could be an AAC device that will help them. And also scaffolding on the lessons and the writing to help the students learn. Thank you so much.